Welcome to Facing the Nation. Today is going to be a special program. We have some stuff to share with you. Today is a big day. Today is June 28, 2024. And you know, when it comes to the People's National Congress reform, today begins our 3 days of conference. As you know, this evening we will be having an opening ceremony. We're actually sitting in the auditorium here today. And of course, we'll give you a glimpse of what is happening, all the preparations that's happening in the building as we speak. But with me, as we start, is none other than Mr. Sherwin Benjamin, who is administrator for the Congress Committee. And he will give us a little update on what is happening, how things are going as we are now on D Day. Mr. Benjamin, welcome.
Thank you, Shanieka. Good afternoon, viewers. Um, as Shanieka said, it is the day. Um, Quick update. We are almost ready. The physical space is almost ready. The delegates from the far-flung regions are here. Overseas delegates are here. Delegates from the quarantine, Linden, Region 3, Region 5, and 7, they are on their way to ensure that we have a grand start this afternoon. Um, our packages for delegates are almost complete packing. Our delegates, badges, etc. is there. The list of delegates is with the returning officer. Regrettably, the candidates for major positions pulled out without viewing the list. And I should say that in response to and in setting the record straight, that persons were recruited again to come and have sight of the list. This basically is a decision of the Central Executive Committee. Um, Both candidates were present in respect of having access to the list. It was agreed by the Central Executive Committee that it will not go against what previously happened. Nobody is going to have access to the list to take away from Congress Place. You will have sight of it. You will question the list right here. The persons who will have the list is the Congress Committee, the groups in regions. And as far as I'm aware, um, we did just that. And to say to the public anything otherwise is mischievous, misleading, and false.
All right. That God gives a thumb up on that. You did say that persons from the outer region have arrived. What are the delegates looking like in terms of the outer regions like Region 1, Region 9, etc.?
Well, the few that I have engaged with over the last evening and this morning, they're all enthusiastic. They want this Congress to come off. They want to have meaningful discussions and engagement with other party members. They want to really set the stage for the next 2 years on what the policies of the PNCR should be and what the PNCR should look to in 2025 and beyond.
Mhm. And what I was asking, what are the numbers in terms of maybe what that would have already come down from the different regions? Is there an average of how many persons
It's
have
in
come?
excess of 200 persons that have arrived from the outer regions. Some are still to land via air, some are still to come via boat buses from Latam. So we are waiting for the arrival. But everybody is due to be here for the commencement of the Congress.
All right, all right. I love the sound of that. I've also noted over the last 2 days, being in here, we have seen lots of overseas delegates as well arriving. Uh, I I think a lot of them, especially today, would have come in to check and see what preparations are like. I just want to warn our viewers, all the sounds that you're getting from the background, I want to remind you because we're literally sitting in the venue right now and there's a lot of preparation happening in our background. You're hearing all the different sounds happening because guess what? Congress is here and the preparations are on. Yes, so the overseas delegate.
We are expecting about approximately 40 delegates from the overseas regions, Canada, the USA, and London, and they have arrived. I engaged with a few again, and they're also enthusiastic and energetic, and they want to have this Congress to ensure that there is fruitful discussion and to chart together a way for the People's National Congress reform beyond 2024.
All right. I don't know if my operator, my cameraman, could just take a turn in our venue at the moment. Just a quick glimpse of what is happening in Congress at the moment. We do see the chairman who will be speaking to shortly as well. And this is what we're looking like. Preparations are on the way, almost complete. And this is basically in the venue where we are ready for this conference today. Of course, this is just inside of the venue that we just give you a glimpse of, but also there is a lot happening out on the outskirts of the venue as well in terms of preparation because of course there are lots of delegates expected at this conference. And of course, for this opening session, we do expect persons from the diplomatic communities, special invitees. They're going to be, this place is going to be packed by this afternoon. You know, so there is lots of preparation. Well, is there anything else you want to give us a quick brief
Except
on?
except to see, I'm seeing my comrades from Region 6 has arrived.
Yes, I'm seeing that too. Yes, so there's a lot going on. I'm going to take a quick break as we bring the current chairman, the incumbent chairman of the People's National Congress reform on, and let's continue our discussion on the Congress preparation. All right, and we are back with you. We're here with the incumbent chairman of the People's National Congress Report, Mr. Sherwin Holden, no stranger member of parliament. You know, we regularly and we have these chats here on Facing the Nation, and today is no different. We're sitting in the venue. Let's talk about Congress. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite, Shanieka. I must say, you're doing a fantastic this program here. We recall that before we became the leadership of the party, these programs were, I didn't want to say no, but ceased to exist for some period. And so I must congratulate you and your team, the public relations team, team from the space from the campaign, moderators, everybody who made these kinds of programs possible. We're talking about Congress. We're talking about Congress. I'm excited. I think all the delegates are excited to see a number of delegates already arrive. Folks coming in from Region 9, folks coming in. I have my bunch coming in from my region. They're on the ferry as we speak. One set coming in this afternoon, some others, because of work relations, work commitments, they'll be coming tomorrow. It's a 3 day Congress, so
Um, we can expect some people to come tomorrow, some people to come on Sunday, but most will be here today and tomorrow. Those activities. I think it's a very exciting time. It's one of the most exciting Congress, one of the most energetic. We've seen a lot out there, a lot of positives, a few things not so inspiring from uh, certain sections, but it's not something that I think we should focus on. We focus on the positives, and the purpose is Congress. Some believe that it's only about elections, but there is is, and so I guess our discussion will go on into those activities.
Um, so I want us to, I know that you just said we don't want to discuss some of the negative, but of course the comments are there. People are asking, um, what is the feel? What is your feel in terms of the little what we will call somewhat negative publicity we've had over, I'll say, the last 2 days? You had this court order matter that was, of course, dealt with today. And of course, we see some of the candidates saying that they're pulling out. I don't know if correspondences would have gone in that direction. But let's just tap on that and as we go forward.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, look, I've seen a few candidates pull out from I would say from a specific team. I, as I understand it, they were very much together. There were some things that they basically like happy about, but no, we've had we've announced over 119 uh, candidates for various positions. Correct. So I don't see that having a real impact on the process here. We have maintained a transparent process. We are very bold as a party over the last 2 years to open up this process to members. Cameras, you were there. The cameras were there for our nomination process. I think though that the nomination, the results of the nomination certainly had an impact on most of those persons, if not all of them, that we see decided to pull out. Look, this is a reality in politics. It not only happens in Guyana, it happens all around the world. It happens in the US, it happens in the UK. You see candidates pull out at a time very close to the elections when they get that feeling that, oh, maybe they will not make it. If you look at the nominations, it's overwhelming for the current leadership. It's a testament that the party members believe that the current leadership, the leadership that they would have voted for in the last Congress, we would have been doing the job, doing a fantastic job, rebuilding the party, rebooting the party, putting the party back on the map. And that is why we see all these raging debates on social media. I think in the main it is good. If nobody's talking about you, then you're irrelevant. And so in politics, that is the standard. Whether it's negative, whether it's positive, people are talking, people are analyzing the situation, and I think overwhelmingly we see on social media, we see it in other media that support is there for the party, and I believe that is the main thing that we should be concerned with.
I must say, from my viewpoint as a young member of this party, looking on, I've been around a bit and I have seen other congresses, I've seen lots of things. I must say, some of the display that I would have seen online for me was more unbecoming. But I must say that I feel a sense of calm and steadiness and know that our party is making an impact even as we see these things. Because what I also saw while all these things were happening online is that persons were, coming in and standing up for us and, listening and seeing the preparation for Congress. When a party can, boast of having more than 1,000 delegates coming for one Congress to say who they want to lead is something that you don't necessarily see in other parties. I mean, like we look at the AFC, we hear about hundreds. We saw the PPP Congress; they had quite a few. But I think for me, looking at it, it tells me of the impact that the party has, not just in its membership as well, but the support base, as we've been seeing all these things happening, and the leadership of the party, pushing through despite everything that has been happening out there. I must say, I feel so good, seeing everything as it played out, and what we're seeing here as we sit, in this room right now, with everything that was said and everything lined up, and the work is being done. People are in Congress with volunteering their services as well. So much work has happened over the last 2 years in Congress space as a physical as well.
I think I can agree with everything that you said on the point in terms of delegates and the number, huge number of delegates. We're a mass-based party. We we are almost 70. We're approaching 70 years of our existence as a party. And we had a solid foundation from the beginning in the likes of Fox Warner, but so many others. They were on the walls here from the space for all to see. We had a solid foundation. I think uh, successive leadership would have built on that. There are times when we were a bit down and we stumbled a little, but we didn't fall. Even if we did, we got up back and we showed the public that we are still strong and we can withstand any challenge and every challenge that is before us. And so it's no different with this executive. We have a strong leader, somebody who would have been in the party since he was about 15. He's about 52 years old as a party member, 52 years plus in the party, and he's surrounded by a bunch of young people, and they are experienced people as well, but he has a young cadre of persons who are equally enthusiastic about the party. When I say young, by no means it would I'm inferring that we are in the party just a few years or
Yeah,
overnight.
what
I
I
myself would have been in the party for around a decade, actually a decade. I mean, my involvement in mainstream politics and doing political work. And so, it by no means say that we're now come or we just come into the party or fly by night. We're experienced professionals, but we're guided by the leader and mentored by so many others who would have given their life to this party. We have about 1,000 delegates based on what the accreditation. Yeah, sorry, 2,000. Correct, 2,000 delegates. There is an increase from the last Congress, obviously through the work of the party. And if we're not increasing membership, then we're not doing anything.
correct,
If we're not
correct.
increasing our influence across the length and breadth of Guyana, then we would not have had something to post about in this Congress. And so that is as of a direct result of us doing the work required to strengthen this party. In relation to a comparison with the People's Progressive Party, they're in government. They have, and we see what they have been doing, utilizing all the resources, the resources of the people of this country, and they're utilizing it to advance their cause. We're in opposition. There are many out there who would like to come here, but they can't. Maybe we can have 4,000, 5,000 persons, but there are many out there because of the vindictiveness of the People's Progressive Party and the way how they
that we have to offer today. Tomorrow will be business day. It is not a day where we have outsiders, a day where we have special invitees. It's a day where we discuss the party's business. We will have much discussion on issues, much deliberation, uh, much decision making on the way of the party. You know, elections, we're in the elections period, we would say. And so we need to get straight down to business as it relates to elections and our strategies that will get us back into government. And even those policy positions that will go beyond the next 2 years. And so that is the activity for tomorrow. We'll have motions, we'll have questions, which we in the leadership will have to answer, provide answers to the general membership, to the delegates, to those who are representing those hundreds of groups across the country. We'll have to provide answers and we will agree to certain key policy positions.
Correct.
Now, tomorrow, not tomorrow, sorry, on Sunday, that will be reserved for the elections, strictly elections. Everything will be handed over to the returning officer, and we will proceed to elect our leader, our chairman, our two vice chairpersons, our treasurer, and the 15 I know what we met here and the situation which would have existed, and we would have worked constantly to develop Congress Place and its environment. Now, with respect to the Congress activities and the feeling that I got today, I walked in here yesterday and I said, well, it's amazing. I looked at a bunch of volunteer schools of forces just working hard, sweating, determined. I came in here today. I've seen the transformation overnight and how this place, really lit up. And even as we speak, work is still ongoing. I've spoken with a number of people, volunteers and members that are out there. You can hear in the background somebody hammering something.
Yes.
You can look and see some balloons going up and some flags going up. And certain persons just put in a touch of paint, at spots where they would have missed. And so I think it's a remarkable effort that we're seeing here, the kind of cooperation, the kind of togetherness to ensure that we pull off this Congress, even in the face of a court threat. We would have had a threat and you would have spoken to that earlier. We'd have had some person filing some asking the court for an injunction to stop this process. But even in the face of that, I see people, really persevering, people determined to ensure that the place is up and ready. And, I think when persons get down here this afternoon, later this afternoon, they will be amazed at the transformation which would have taken place at complete. It just feels like home. It feels like a massive celebration. It is a place that you want to be for the entire weekend. And so, that is just my feeling of it. And I think everybody that is here, they get that kind of shock and awe when they enter this place to know how it has transformed.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We have a few minutes to go, and I we can't ever let the people go on certain things. I know we're all hyped up about Congress, and this is the vibe. But I just want to kick in some stuff that I saw over the last couple of days, even as we've been in this preparation. Because at the end of it all of this preparation, all this making sure that you have a proper leadership together is to continue to hold the PPPC government accountable and to ensure when the next regional and general election is called is that we get rid of the PPPC. Over the last week, I have seen flooding in New Amsterdam, in Linden, in Region 5. I believe there were parts of Region 2 as well over the last 3 days, I believe, where we've had some heavy rainfall. And, people are talking about it. We've had some in town, but not as bad as we've seen. I looked at videos that I posted as well to my Facebook page where the Linden Highway of itself was like a river one of those evenings or early morning, whichever time of the day it was. And these are some serious issues, and I'm still concerned. I think we had began to speak recently about the way they're doing construction and narrowing the drains, etc. And now we're seeing this so widespread. What are your thoughts about that?
Shanika, we predicted this. You and I had this a brief discussion on this issue. While the government is boasting about doing all sorts of drainage works and road works, we see their deficiencies. We have seen many contracts having to be terminated, huge contracts. We've seen the way how they went about all these contractors and how the government would have allowed them to pursue these contracts and how they would have been allowed to execute these works in a manner as though there are no rules, there are no guidance, there is no supervision whatsoever taking place. We've seen if you go to south area in south, for example, which usually floods so easily, and you look at the roadworks, the stalling of the roadworks here, you look at the state they have the road and the drainage, you look at the blockages which would have been created. These floods that we would have seen, it's not by accident. Yes, we had heavy rainfall, but when you look at it broadly, you see that it's in part created by the incompetence of this government. There are huge pump stations like the Belgium, for example, the one that they give to Pinnick, that company that involves the Guyanese Pinnick,
Yeah.
and at the expense of the People's Progressive Party. We've seen over the last 12 months absolutely nothing really happening there. They would have started the work, but you have major blockage in drainage. You have absolutely nothing really progressing in terms of the work. And so the people are not getting the kind of benefit that they should have been getting from the installation of new pumps, etc. When we were in government, we mobilized pumps all over the city. We were quick to have a national drainage plan.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, the party keeps saying that this is the way to go. You must have a national drainage policy and a national plan which involves several agencies, multi-agencies, multi-task force that are ready and able and prepared and have the resources necessary to deal with these emergency studies. But these calls have gone on deaf ears. There is also that need for urban planning. We spoke about it. Leader
Yeah.
Martin at his budget presentation, and several of us have been talking over the last 2 years about it. There is a need to recognize the issue of global warming and its impact on a low-lying state. As Guyana, we have a low coastline, but yet we see a government who continues to boast about thousands of house lots and thousands of homes they're building on the coastline rather than moving the city and the development works more inland to these higher areas, higher ground. And so there is no planning in that regard. And so that is why, we will be stuck as the new government, and I think we will be the new government come 2025 or whenever they call these elections. I believe that we will form the new government, and it will be a horrendous task to correct some of the ineptitude of the government and the incompetence and some of these things that they now would make us have to commit to. Because how do you remove an entire new housing scheme? How do you do that? We will have to look at innovative ways and new means and new technology to rectify some of these situations with regards to flooding and urban planning.
I just noticed, I didn't even realize the background had changed. And I realized we're sitting right in front of our team, which says forming the next government, building a just, inclusive, and prosperous society for all. And I mean, that is what you were just explaining, because that is what Guyana needs at this time. I believe, as a young person looking on, seeing everything, Guyana cannot survive another 5 years of the PPP at the rate they're going. We cannot.
I totally agree, and I believe a great majority of the population believe that if you travel in a taxi, any bus, I usually visit mostly about the incompetence of this government and all that is going wrong. Look, we have selected this team. We think that we will form the next government based on everything that is happening, based on the work that we would have been putting in and intend to put in over the next year and the coming months and over the next year. The team, and I want to just explain it, forming the next government, building a just, prosperous, and inclusive society. We've seen over the last 4 years or thereabout a lack of inclusion. We've seen much discrimination.
Yeah.
Our main leader and those that believe in supporting society, value. We believe in an egalitarian society, meaning a society where all are treated equally and all are given the kind of resources to develop themselves, an equal opportunity. Recently, we have set our focus on a policy which says that there must be equitable distribution of resources. So we are now building on that pillar of equality that was left by Fubs Mornam and those before us. And we are now saying that added to that, we must have equity because over the years and under the rule of the People's Progressive Party, we have seen and we've not seen the kind of equitable distribution that should exist in a small society that just has about 750,000 people with multiple resources. We are now seeing oil, which provides the kind of resources like an entire budget itself.
Yeah.
Monies coming in from oil are equivalent to our entire 2015 budget. And so we have the resources to do it, and we believe that's why we set this team, and this is what we are setting out to do, to have a prosperous and just society, a society where there is equity and equality, and most importantly, inclusivity.
Yeah.
We believe that all of our people are important. We believe that the Aborigines are important, the Indo-Guyanese are important, the Afro-Guyanese are important,
Yeah.
Portuguese, everybody is important, and everybody can form or everybody can play a role in ensuring that we have a society that is conducive to all, to the development of all.
All right. So as we begin to wrap this program up, I know that you have given a wrap on We talked about the flooding, we talked about what we're looking to do, and of course, it ties in to the team. Just before we go, what would you want to tell the viewers in both instances, anything that we've missed in regards to the Congress and what we are currently seeing in the country as we wrap up?
Thanks, Shanieka. I continue to be energized, and I think the nation continue to be energized by these congresses. Nominations day, we saw what happened. We had one of the largest turnouts and the most vibes and energy coming from a Congress. But I think the greatest takeaway from that was that there are 2 points. We established that we are a democratic party and that we have a strong support base that is willing to back us. And I think that is the most important takeaway from this Congress. It continues to be the greatest takeaway from this Congress that we are democratic, although there are forces out there that are trying to say otherwise and to paint us in a different light. But I think the general public believes that believe in our democracy, and we will maintain that internal democracy because if we are to form the new government, then I believe that is an important pillar. That is an important pillar in us succeeding as a government. So we will maintain our democracy, and I think I think the next few days we will make important decisions that will serve to shore up the party to form it up in a way that will ensure that we are on that right path, that we run that right path. We put the plans, the programs, the policies in place to execute in the next couple of months to ensure that we succeed at the next project and regional elections to form the next government. I urge all to not be distracted by the naysayers out there, not be distracted by the PPP and their propaganda machinery. We know that they're very good at propaganda and even infiltrating uh, within our Congress and our party activities. And so I urge that you not be swayed by that, but remain focused. Remain focused on what we're saying and remain focused on what we have to offer as a party and what we will be offering to you as party members and to the nation as a whole when we take government.
Thank you so much, Chairman, for being with us and sharing your thoughts about the Congress. Before I close off, I don't know if my cameraman will help me. I want to get up and I want to just have our viewers take another glance at what is happening in terms of preparations for this Congress for today and for the other days that are coming so that we can see. So let's go. Let me show you what's happening in Congress Place. Um, as you can see, the venue for today's opening ceremony is basically completed. There are persons around walking, doing final cleanup, putting up balloons, just clearing the place because we're basically completed the task. You can look behind me. I want to let you know for those persons who, are followers, you may not be a delegate for the Congress, for this Congress, but today's opening ceremony is pretty much open. So you can come and be a part of this that you're seeing in the background. There are lots of excitement, the preparations for this. So tonight, I should say, I think it's 5 o'clock this afternoon, where we hold our opening ceremony, where all the delegates will be here, special invitees, the diplomatic community. Congress Place is going to be busy for the next 3 days. And I hope this update, would have given you some light in what is happening. And, for those of you that will come down, I hope to see you. You can say hi when you see me. Let's, enjoy our opening ceremony. And of course, the delegates will be dealing with the Saturday and Sunday, getting down to the business of the party and ensuring that we solidify our party, the leadership of our party, as we do what the team says, as we prepare to form the next government by building a just, inclusive, and prosperous society for all. Thank you for watching Facing the Nation, and we hope to see you next week as we would give you, the curtains that would have pulled down for this Congress. Next week, we'll talk about that. Have a great, great afternoon.